Hi, we're Beau and Brandy, and we sailed last week here to Spanish waters from Klein Curacao and one of our best sails ever. But now we're getting back to work. We plan on leaving for a long sail from Curacao all the way up to the U.S. Virgin Islands very soon, but not before we tackle some projects that will keep us safe and sound. The project on the list will help us not sink.
So we're just gonna fiberglass this up and call it a day.
Not get demasted. Oh man. Oh gosh. And hopefully sail a little faster.
Hopefully we can get better performance. Brandy is currently up the mast, tackling our first project here back in Spanish waters. She's tying a line where the shroud goes so we can release it. When we're up messing with our spreader lights, she found that one of the bolts that holds the spreader to the mast is like, it's just rotting away.
That's what we found.
So we're gonna have to take the port spreader off and fix it and then put it back up. So in the meantime, we're gonna run a line from the top down to the bottom, put some tension on it and loosen the main shroud. My little worker bee just down here supervising. Little to the left.
Stop. Your whole crew will walk out on you.
You won't go anywhere unless I let you. I've got the power.
I'm gonna wait for the waves a little bit. It's like pulling the stone out of the... Ooh. Ooh. Oh man. Oh gosh.
It's real bad.
Wow, I'm glad that we did that. Wow. Oh wow.
Jeez.
That was not good.
I don't know. I don't know that I can really repair that. It's mushy.
Yikes. I'm gonna go wash my hair now. Just kidding. I mean, it does have the safety part, doesn't it?
Safety.
The other part is screwed into that, so it has kind of a... That's what was holding it together, was this thing.
The metal piece, yeah.
If that wasn't holding it together, that would have fallen off.
Dun dun dun. Just not sure what to do to repair it. Got all the pieces sanded down. Put like a radial around the edges there, so when I put the biaxle over it, it's not like a sharp corner and it'll lay flat. But this guy, this bracket, this end cap is really what saved the day. This top part here, these two bolts, this is what attaches to the bracket on the mast, and then these other two are what are additional attachment points for the spreader itself. Just by having this thing, has really helped us out from basically demasting the boat. But just gotta epoxy this up and let it set, and should be able to get this back up probably tomorrow.
You have a helper?
Useless helper. All he does is sit there, stare at me.
He's so cute doing it. Plan of attack.
Plan of attack. Mix up a bunch of epoxy, thickened epoxy, slab it on here, and then wrap a couple of pieces of, I think this is 3 ounce cloth around it.
Why don't you have that upside down?
What do you mean? The bucket?
Yeah.
Because I don't want it sitting on anything. Come on.
Sure, still some in there?
I hope so. I'm gonna make this project really hard without epoxy. Come on.
I mean, it was leaking.
Might be empty. That would suck. Well, that didn't go to plan. I couldn't even use the end piece that fell off. My first go at epoxying it all together, I didn't put enough thickener in it, so it just like oozed out everywhere. So I pretty much had to start over. And it already fits. I fit tested it, but I do need to sand it down a little bit, clean it up. Definitely will do the trick. She just doesn't look right without a spreader. Looks so weird. Lovey, come on. All set? Ready for your trapeze? I'm all ready for her. Got all the tools. Got the spreader fixed. The holes are drilled. It's all attached. Came out pretty good.
Are we gonna go with wood or aluminum when we get to this USB ice?
I don't know yet. We'll probably switch it out for aluminum, but I gotta figure out what I want to do.
It is windy.
Yeah, it should be fun up there.
So the plan of action, am I right in this? I'm going up there and putting this one up first. I have to seize it.
Make sure the bolts are facing like so the bolt won't fall out. No, opposite way.
So the bolt doesn't fall out.
Yeah, if the nut comes undone, the bolt will just rest there.
Our nice new remodeled spreader. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna throw it in, screw it on. I gotta seize off this side, which was nice that we can redo that. Gotta put the boot back on and then check the other side. Because why not? I'm already gonna be up there, check and be safe. I think I'm just gonna pull it apart when I'm up there, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, up we go on the windiest day of the week.
No, you gotta be able to just push it in. You're not gonna be able to do it that way, there's too much friction. Can you wedge it?
I'm trying, hon. That's all done, and you know, it's not too bad being up there. It's just when the wind gust happens and if I don't have a good hold and when these big old boats go busting through and it starts rocking back and forth, it's a little anxious, but not too bad. It's actually kind of nice being up there. But we've got them all set. We actually decided not to take down the second one because from further inspection, I just took a screwdriver and touched every little hole I could find and there was nothing soft, everything was solid, so it looks good. We're gonna let it be. And the other one, nice, solid, looks like it's gonna be fantastic. And then to make ourselves feel even better, as soon as we get back to the USVIs, we will go ahead and make a permanent fix. Just be cute, yeah. So what are you putting in there now?
This is just thickened epoxy. And once I get this laid in, I need to mix up more just regular epoxy and lay a few pieces of glass down.
Remember a couple weeks back when we found water in the keel, had to drill holes to let it out, and then patch it up? If you've been watching, then you know that these wells are where the water got into the keel. And tonight, we are finally getting around to fiberglassing them closed for good.
Lay a few pieces of glass down.
This stuff smells like Elmer's glue that you used to have when you were a kid. Oh, the paste. That's what it smells like. Paste from kindergarten.
Did you ever eat the glue, Lovey?
Duh.
I think everybody did, right?
Everybody did. I'm pretty sure they put sugar in it.
I'm 100% a glue eater. This is the last of our epoxy. I don't think I got enough to lay down those pieces of glass. I guess we'll just have to do the thickened and then wait till we get there.
How long does it got to cure? Can we go tomorrow and pick it up?
I guess we could.
Oh, wait. It's Sunday.
Oh, they're closed. We could go Monday. Just needs a day to cure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to pick up some more. Our stupid West System pump hardener leaked out everywhere.
Everywhere.
So we have a ton of resin left. We just don't have the hardener.
And it's red, by the way.
Yeah, it made a mess. Ugh. You're probably wondering if we filled the gap. No, we didn't. We were gonna fill it with polyester resin, but it's fine without it. And now that we're in the water, we know it's not leaking in water from anywhere else other than this well. So we're just gonna fiberglass this up and call it a day. I think I'm gonna use that resin to kind of fill out our bilge, because we have a super deep bilge, but it's flat and it's big. So we have like 5 gallons of water that just sloshes around because it's not deep enough for the bilge pump to suck it out, or it doesn't rise up enough. So I'm gonna kind of slope the walls and then make a little well in there, and that's where the bilge pump's gonna sit. And if we get any leaking water, it'll just sit right there and get sucked out. That's the plan, at least.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
For projects that may or may not get done ever.
What you doing, Benji? What? Lazy. So I got my glassing all done. Now, if we get water in there, we should have no issues of it getting into the keel. Thanks to our friends off of Black Moon that are anchored here with us. We now have a strain gauge that we can properly measure all of our shrouds and stays. I'm thinking that our shrouds are gonna be really loose, so I need to measure them out, get them nice and tight. This is a mechanical strain gauge. It's not the digital kind, which I guess the digitals are nice because you can really fine tune your rigging, but we just need it good enough. I mean, we've been sailing for 3 years without a properly tuned rig, so I'm sure this will help. It's a pretty nice setup and pretty straightforward. Right here you actually have a gauge to determine what wire diameter you're working with. This is all in metric, so, and my rigging's standard, so I'm just gonna get it close enough. I went ahead and already measured out my shrouds, and I'm working with 5mm for the lowers and 6mm for the upper. But what you do is you go over here, depending on what wire gauge you are working with, you can adjust this knob. And this is really just the groove that the wire starts on. This guy is gonna be 5mm. You start off by lining up the red line there. Then you capture your top knob, and then you need to pull the bottom one through. I'm trying to do this single-handed, so it's not the easiest to hold. So what it looks like is you have this guy on one side, this guy on the opposite side, and this would matched up with the lower. Then you can read what value you're getting. And right now, this is super loose. Like, we're not even really reading a value. Well, actually, I think we're reading 1. We want 20%, which is like 8.5. So now what I need to do is take off these captive rings and tighten the turnbuckle. Thanks for letting me know that a screwdriver is not the proper way to tighten your turnbuckle. I do have 2 adjustable wrenches that I'm going to use from here on out. That way not to damage the turnbuckle. Man. And we're only at 10%. I might just go to 15% and just keep it equal all around. That's all I got. I'm gonna do the lower shrouds first, then I'll do the uppers. I can feel the upper one is really loose now because I've been cranking on this one. And then I'll sight up the mast. Just gonna make sure that it looks straight. When I get my mind set on something, I'm very hyper-focused, and sometimes I don't pay attention to the bigger picture. Brandy came out here and she started filming and said, "Hey, don't you think the dinghy's probably adding extra load to the..." And I was like, good point. It is. So we just dropped the dinghy, but it actually didn't make much of a difference on the gauge here. So it probably was skewing it a little bit. Better safe than sorry. So all of them came out to be 20%. I was able to actually winch on them some more. I do need to invest in one of these guys, one of these gauges. Super handy. Just got done checking the forestay and the backstay, and they are perfect, 20%. So the next time we go sailing, hopefully we can get better performance. At least we won't have spaghetti arms. Oh, finally we get to sit down. Thanks for this delicious looking meal.
You're welcome. I made a taco avocado salad.
It's really good. Thanks for watching, guys. We are off in the next few days, depending on the weather windows. And if you guys are a patron, then you'll be able to track our journey.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. And thanks for liking and subscribing and watching and sharing.
And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps us grow. into beautiful little flowers. It's been a long day, you guys.
We're a little loopy. Alright, we're gonna enjoy this meal. Night night. Brandy is currently up the mask task. Wrap a couple of pieces of
Okay, so the plan of action, put this guy up first. You want me to slide it in, nut it off.